Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flowering Creativity, the podcast where we explore the lives of creative people and provide practical tips for achieving and sustaining your creative lifestyle and goals. With me today, I have Kadrian Thomas, who, despite his humble beginnings, stepped into his purpose when a stranger, Winston Mundy, gifted him his first saxophone at Northern Caribbean University, age 22. Winston, now deceased, was a lover of Kenny G's music and sensed potential in Kadrian. This gift served as proof to Kadrian it's never too late to step into your purpose, and that with commitment, consistency, and passion, your soul will reveal itself. Kadrian is a grateful man, and through his work as a teacher, songwriter, and recording artist, he hopes to pass on his legacy. He currently resides in China with his wife and best friend Christina, and hopes to be a source of inspiration, motivation, and healing to others online. A man of many talents, I personally enjoy Kadrian as the sax habit coach. His soulful saxophone covers, and especially his awesome new song, I Am a Target. Everybody, welcome Kadrian Thomas.
All right, thank you. What inspired that song actually is as a result of what's happening globally, with Black Lives and George Floyd and my personal experience as well, where when I was in the States in 2009, as a student, I went to visit in the summer. I was going home and two cops pulled me over. I was walking actually, and they frisked me, And so looking back at that, I could have been one of those persons who could have been like Floyd, And so it was out of that experience and what people of color like myself have been going through for a very long time, over 400 years. That is what has inspired me to write this song and hope to pass on the message that, hey, don't treat us as a target because we are one.
Definitely. So, being a songwriter myself, it's really important to me to stay flowing, to stay creative. And in a couple of conversations that we've had before, the idea you had of the cup.
What I have inside of me, I am putting out there. And it is as you move, the universe pours more into you. Mm-hmm. Because when a cup is full, nothing else can go inside of it, right? Mm-hmm. And the more you put out what is inside of you, it's like it's watered. Mm-hmm. And so like a plant, you plant a seed, one seed, and it grows into a tree and it produces a lot of mangoes. Mango is my favorite fruit, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can replant, or you can feed a lot of people. Your ideas, you have to just move with it, mm-hmm. No matter where it's at, just move with it. And after a while, a snowball effect is going to take place. Mm-hmm. I believe that. It's going to snowball.
Right, that's really stuck with me a lot, where, I'll get an idea in my head, and I'm like, ooh, my cup is being filled, right? So right. I'm not expecting the full idea right then. So exactly. I did this this thing the other day. I really want to thank you for it. Where it was inspiring. I went for my jog, right, and and I opened a lyric, not a lyric, a file to type, and so right. I typed one line. And then I went out and I jogged. And I was jogging, and another couple more lines popped in my head. So I went in and I typed them. Then I went back out and I jogged more. And and then a couple more lines popped in. So the glass, right? I kept emptying it, drinking from the glass, and then it kept getting refilled. It was beautiful. So I don't know, just a little bit of discussion so far has already been so helpful to me. I hope that we can really help a lot of people today with this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you get an idea, like, for example, this song, right? The way I wrote this song, I was in the kitchen preparing breakfast for my wife and I. And the line came. That was all that came. I am a target. And so then a little part of the melody came. And so I added that part. And while I was working throughout the day and going along, and when I went to the supermarket like you were jogging, another line came. And so I keep adding the lines. And then when it was all done, I mean, some of the words didn't fit.
I think it's really important that we kind of give everybody a little bit more of an idea about, how you would describe your work. And how do you use creativity in your work? And, what are your current creative goals, my friend?
Well, as it relates to creativity in my work, I mean, as musicians, we are creative. What I do is creative. If I'm doing a cover, I am doing creative work. If I'm making a video to present content on YouTube, etc., I am being creative because I'm thinking of how I can best put this forward so that the person I'm presenting to can understand and then take what I've presented and incorporate it in their own lives. As a creative person, one of the things I am working at is becoming better at managing my time, for example, so that when my creative juices flow, I can just sit in front of a camera or sit on a podcast like this one and then just let the content flow, and so that it can benefit others. And then in addition to that, I'm also working on my membership site so that I can help beginner saxophone players to move from point A to point Z or point B, right?
So do you have a daily routine? And, what do you do in order to keep yourself feeling creative?
All right. So for me, I wake up every day at 4:50 a.m., right? That's the first part of my routine. And then I do like a 30 to 45 minutes exercise. Sometimes I go walking. Other times I do push-ups and sit-ups and stretches and so on. And then in addition to that, I do journaling. Every morning I write in my journal, regardless of the day of the week. So between 4:50 and 7 o'clock, that's during that time I take the time to pour into myself. And then I love reading, so I read as well.
And as the sax habit coach, you really mention good practice habits and motivation and excuses and those type of things. So I really enjoy that work that you're doing on YouTube.
Thank you.
What challenges have you faced that disrupt your creative flow?
Three things. I don't have my phone with me right now, but social media is a disruptive element for me because, as Sophie Leroy says, you have what is called attention residue. Is that when you spend some time on an activity, you leave some of the bandwidth that you wake up with on that activity. And so it takes about 15 minutes to 30 minutes for your brain to reset. The next thing that would disrupt my flow is watching the news. And so I stay away from it because it doesn't do me any good. So I stay away from that, and then the final thing that also disrupts my flow is if I don't get a good night's rest. So now I'm well rested because I went to bed early last night. If I don't put in my 7.5 hours, because you need like 5 sleep cycles, and one sleep cycle is like 90 minutes.
One of your videos that I mentioned that I really enjoyed was your video on excuses. So give me some of your pointers for dealing with excuses on a daily basis.
For myself, I just have to get moving, right? Because once the pendulum starts to move, then it picks up momentum. So for me, I find that when I think too much about an idea, like, let's say I get an idea for a topic that I want to cover. Like, I have about...
I just want to take a second and thank you so much for coming on Flowering Creativity, Kadrian. And I want to give you a chance to please go into detail. I want everybody to know that's watching how they can find you online, how they can check out your program as you're releasing it, all the things that you'd like to let them know. Now's your open floor. Go for it, my friend.
All right, so you can find me on YouTube. That's where I'm at most often. YouTube, if you type in my name, Kadrian Thomas, Kadrian Thomas, and across all platforms, that's the one, that's the name I use. Facebook, YouTube, and then my website, kadrianthomas.com. That's where I'm posting my stuff, and that's where I'll be releasing my courses, my paid courses and paid memberships very soon.
So this is a worldwide launch, right? You could take the course from anywhere.
From where and from anywhere, yeah.
Definitely. Well, Kadrian and I are getting ready to head on to patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio to do some additional bonus content for my wonderful patrons. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kadrian, for being here with us on Flowering and Thank you so much, Kadrian, for being here with me on Flowering Creativity.
My pleasure.